on an unfamiliar, desolate highway, trying to make a last-minute drive across the states to get to my brother's remote home in northern Utah. I'd gotten the dates of some of our plans mixed up and kind of forced myself to have to drive through the night because of my mistake. The whole thing was a mess and had me tired and stressed out. And because of it, I didn't notice when my GPS told me to turn off the road that I'd been on for 100 miles and to exit. It wasn't until after I'd missed it that I immediately realized my mistake. Wasn't anything I could do but keep driving and turn around somewhere up ahead, or see if the GPS would switch the directions around. After a minute, I noticed it was still loading on the rerouting screen, so I assumed I just needed to turn around. It was unlikely this desolate area had any alternate routes anyway. But as I kept driving, I couldn't find any way to turn around. The road just kept going. At one point, about a mile past the exit, I passed a car on the shoulder with their hazards on. Looked like your average black sedan, which I just assumed was also probably kinda lost in figuring out where to go. I slowed down a bit after passing them just to make sure I didn't pass a turnaround spot. From then on, the road very quickly merged into one lane and became significantly more narrow, with the woods closing in. It no longer felt like a highway. It felt like some lost continuation of the road that was abandoned. Whatever it really was, I knew I definitely should not be there. So I pulled over just to think things through and figure out how to turn around. The GPS was completely stuck on this loading screen, and my phone wouldn't load anything either. I looked out my windows, but it was too dark and there were no streetlights, so I had to get out just to look around. On both sides of the road were very dense, clearly uninhabited forest. I couldn't even see the other side of the highway that went in the other direction. It was just woods, which meant that at some point the other side split off, and I had no way to know how far back that was, or how far ahead I had to go before they came back together and had a way for me to turn around. I really didn't like being in that spot though, surrounded by woods on a strange, vacant stretch of road. I did think for a moment about just going back the way I came, essentially driving the wrong way on the road, all the way back to the exit, but it felt very wrong and unsafe, and I'd driven a fairly long way down